YouTube, how's it going? HeirofCarthage here. Welcome to the Battle of Sarai. This is a 3v3 I played. I'm going to leave all the players nameless except for myself. Just to let you know, I played as the Iceni. I played in several 3v3 matches with a bunch of players that some of you all might know. I told them I wasn't going to show this, but I just do not have any footage. And just for the sake of someone thinking that I'm trying to show something to maybe think that I'm great or good or whatever, that's why I'm leaving everybody nameless, and except for me, I'm the Iceni. So let me show you the army. Well, first let me show you the tactical map so you can see how everything's arrayed. The maps are a little bit smaller than what you'd expect from Shogun 2, and the action's going to get started quick. So I might pause it for just a second just to cover the troops, the different armies. I'm not going to go through them unit by unit. But here you can see me as the Iceni. I have, looks like 5 units of Briton Slingers. Looks like 6 units of Heroic Nobles. Pretty spammy. I've got 2 Briton Scout Riders and 3 Heroic Riders. So nothing special about my army. Oh, I forgot about these 2 units. I have a Levy Freeman, or 2 Levy Freemen. Actually, I think is all the difference that I have. Yeah, so they're just like little light spear units. They're not worth much, but they look kind of neat. So one of my teammates is the Arverni. Let's see what the Arverni has. Looks like 2 Celtic Youths. I'm imagining this is going to be a bunch of Oathsworn. It is 6 Oathsworn and 4 Noble Horse. And then looks, oh, here's the rest of his skirmishers. Looks like 5 Celtic Slingers. And then right here we've got, let's see, 3 units of Hellenic Royal Guard. Guessing these are going to be Galatians. They are. And then it looks like 2, 3, 4, 5 units of Ptolemaic Cav and 2 African Elephants for Egypt. So that's my team. If we take a look at the opposing team, and I know that this may seem like it's taking forever, so I'll hurry up. Looks like we got Parthia here, who's going to have a bunch of slingers and archers. Looks like 4 slingers up front. Looks like 4 archers behind them. And then it's going to be 5 units of Parthian swords. Looks like 2 units of Parthian horse archers. A noble blood cav, and I'm guessing this is going to be 4 units of or 3 units of Eastern Cataphracts, 1 of a Royal Cataphract. Let me show you what the Cataphracts look like in this game. Here's a Royal Cataphract unit. These guys are pretty dang cool. So, yep, there you go. Get you a nice view of some of the cool unit detail. And I'm not running this game all out because I get a little bit better frame rates when I don't. But I've got it pretty close. It's basically running on mostly extreme with some ultra. So just in case you're wondering what the graphics settings are. So here's Carthage. He's got, looks like 3 African pikemen up front. It's going to be 3 Libyan infantry behind, 2 Sacred Band on the flank. No doubt 3 mercenary Balearic slingers, 2 more Sacred Band on that flank, a noble cav for his general, 2 mercenary Iberian cav, and an African war elephant. That's assuming nothing's hidden, which there could be a lot of stuff hidden. We can only see so much of Rome here, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 Praetorian Cav. I'm seeing 2 Armored Legionnaires, 4 Armored Legionnaires, and 2 Praetorian Guard, which is going to be all that's visible at the moment. So let's get things started. And I know that the battle's going to unfold here. Usually in these team battles, you're going to find the typical strategy is going to be for to try and gang up on one player, gain an advantage on one flank, and then wrap. And as you can see, I'm holding up the anchor of our flank here, so I'm going to continually be moving to try and protect their flank, while the Arverni and the Egyptian player tried to gain an advantage over Parthia. Parthia doesn't have the best infantry, and they need to skirmish, so to be honest, Parthia being an anchor player on this particular map may not have been the best idea, but we'll see how it turns out. I'm not going to try and give the battle away. Just because I'm showing this is obviously no guarantee that I've won, but I think you all will enjoy the footage. So here's the Parthian horse archers. Let's get you some horse archer cam. Let you kind of see the incoming Ptolemaic cav, which is chasing them. No doubt wanting to just force them back. So I'll exit out of there. Here's the Ptolemaic cav. You can see some Gallic noble or heavy horse and noble horse. I saw 1 heavy horse unit. Yep, there's 1 heavy horse unit. They're pushing towards these Parthian foot skirmishers. Carthage, you can see, is now going to have to try and quickly turn their flank, and then I'm going to have to try and move my troops up here to create a better anchor, because right now I've left a gap right here, and fortunately the Carthaginians and the Romans aren't really in the best position to exploit it. but I am going to move my troops up here and make a better flank. And then these Celtic skirmishers are going to try and hold Carthage back. And here you can see a huge engagement starting. This Ptolemaic cav getting engaged with these eastern cataphracts. Ptolemaic cav is some of the best shot cav on the game, and you can see here that the charge bonus has been activated, and this player is using their general to support their troops. Plus there's Gallic Heavy Horse and Noble Horse. So cataphracts are great on the charge, and they're a pretty tough cav unit, don't get me wrong. But they're not, in this patch at least. I think we were playing in patch 2 at this point. In patch 2, the cataphracts are really no match in a one-on-one fight for heavy melee cav like Gallic Noble Horse. Here comes some Galatian swordsmen to reinforce this fight. A good move indeed. These swordsmen will rip up pretty much any cav unit as long as the cav unit doesn't get a great charge, and even if they do, they'll probably still rip up that unit. Some Parthian swordsmen routing here. I'll try and get you lots of up-close on the fight action here. But let's show you the overhead map so you know what's going on. Again, my team is in the yellow. This is me right here, and you can see that I'm collapsing my flank in order to try and keep the Roman from gaining any kind of early advantage. There's a Sakai Equite back here as well. But you can see that there's a whole lot of double teaming action going on right here. Carthage is pouring in their troops to try and save the Parthian. Parthian still has their slingers, but they're running out of cav and foot infantry. So let's get back down into the fight, and that screen is really good for that, the tactical map. So yeah, you can see the fight going on here, and let's see. Carthage is as yet unengaged, but they are taking fire from these Celtic slingers, and it looks like I used my Britain scout riders here to get into some of these Carthaginian skirmishers. That's obviously what's driven them back, but they're repaying me with some elephants. Over here, I've engaged some Roman Praetorian cav in a fight, and these barbarian horse actually do very well even against Praetorian cav. So in case you're a player using Rome, you need to use Draco, which it looks like my opponent did, which is a good move. But it's still not a guarantee you're going to win this fight. Praetorian cav are quite good melee cav, but they're not quite up to par with some of the barbarians. Plus, I'm going to deliver a hammer and anvil blow here with one of my Britain scout riders, and this is exactly what light cav is good for, or at least one of the things it is. It can turn a cav fight quicker, plus you can use them to run down skirmishes. So check out those sweet Iceni troops there, hitting these Romans from behind. But the Roman player is going to repay the favor again with these Sakai Equites, so I'm going to get my light cav out of there because I'm now winning that fight. But you can see that the Arverni in Egypt have hammered their way through the Parthian player and are now facing off with some Sacred Bands of Carthage. And the Sacred Band is a hoplite unit, and just so, for those of you who aren't really familiar with the game yet, hoplites are not like what they were in Rome 1. In Rome 1, they actually function more like pikemen do in Rome 2. So in Rome 1, hoplites are heavily armored spearmen who fight in formation, which is actually kind of a disadvantage right now, but that's a discussion for another time. Heavily armored units do have a use on the battlefield though, so I'm not going to say these guys are worthless. They have excellent bracing, and if standing steady they can take a cav charge very well, but as you can see up against a unit like this Galatian Royal Guard here, which is a sword unit from Egypt, they are going to get absolutely hacked to bits. They are not meant for this kind of fight, whereas they may have done well against sword units. And check out that Sacred Band there, getting hammered from behind by some Ptolemaic cav. A brutal rear charge. And then over here, same thing, heavy horse, Gallic heavy horse, tearing into the back of them. Let's take a look again at the overview of the map. These are my swordsmen here, now charging at the Romans. So let's go check out how my swordsmen do against the Roman. The Roman's trying to skirmish me with these auxiliary Syrian archers, and my slingers are back here being chased around by some Sakai Equites, trying to be protected by my spearmen. So I decided to charge the Romans, because if the Romans couldn't get away, I feel very confident that my heroic nobles will do well in a fight, even against Praetorian Guard, and especially over here against Armored Legionnaires. Now don't get me wrong, Armored Legionnaires are no slouches, they're good units, and they can hold out well. The problem is they suffer against barbarians in the charge. So if you can keep the barbarians from getting quite so much charge, or maybe soften them up a little bit with some skirmishers first, an Armored Legionnaire very well could hang in this fight. As Roman units tune to have a little bit higher attack and better weapon damage, again, it's the charge where the barbarians will get you, and you can see here my Iceni men celebrating as they drive back their Roman enemies. And then back here I've got my heroic riders chasing down some Syrian archers. He is trying to bring in some Armored Legionnaires. The Roman general is dismounted here, which is interesting. And again, you can see Egypt and the Arverni have pretty much punched through all of Carthage. Carthage has some Sacred Band units and African pikemen still in the vicinity. I'll zoom in here so you can see these Sacred Bands fighting an Oathsworn. Once again, not a fight that they want to be in. Here comes a rear infantry charge by some Oathsworn. This will be interesting to watch. These guys must be exhausted because they're moving quite slowly, so maybe not quite the painful charge that we expect, but still going to be pretty entertaining. So here's some Oathsworn outflanking the Sacred Band. The Sacred Band didn't really have a chance head-on, or, to be honest, even outflanking Oathsworn. It's not a good fight for Sacred Band. I'm not sure if they would win it or not, as I haven't tested it. But here, look, here comes some African pikemen. They ended up having to turn around, though. I think they routed because it was a battle. It says close defeat. I'm not sure why it says that. My team actually did win this battle. As you can see, that's the way it was going. Hope you enjoyed that. I don't have a results screen because, for whatever reason, Total War Rome 2 doesn't have a results screen. I think Shogun 2 had the same issue, so hopefully they'll get it patched. So hope you enjoyed this battle, and I will be back with more quite soon.